Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. Alright, so it's been about what? Probably 16 hours since LeBron James tweeted a hourglass that didn't seem like it had anything in it to give. As if the Lakers are running out of time, or as if he's running out of time, or as if Darvin's running out of time, or as if the trade deadline's coming about. I don't know what he actually meant. I jumped to the conclusion he was talking about his time with the Lakers is coming to an end, and they better hurry up and make a decision that will make that decision easier for him to stay here, or hurry up and trade him. That's where my mind went. And you tweet something like that at 2 something in the morning on the road, meaning he's probably on a flight to Boston when he makes that trade. Makes that tweet or something like that, because he definitely wasn't in the West Coast. So it's like, for me, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, look, just as I told you guys this morning, I made a video telling y'all, warning the Lakers more or less, literally warning them to not let this go down this path. I don't know if they heeded that warning, but I meant it very, very seriously. I think trading LeBron James makes a lot of sense. And I'm listening to a lot of the news media, and they're talking about if LeBron demands a trade, these are the type of returns we get. And this is the point I'm trying to make as well. Don't let it get to that point in LA, because if he makes a trade, they're right. The return is going to be lesser than. You don't want him to make no trade demand. That's foolish. If the idea is for me to capture his most value, I'm not letting it to get to a point where he gets to cut that value in half by having to request what it is that's damn common sense for me. He ain't got to say nothing. I'm going to trade him. It's going to be an unspoken truth. He ain't got to tell me this is bull crap. I'm looking around and I see it's bull crap. He don't want to be here. There's nothing to want. This place is not a winning situation. And it's not in his best interest for his brand to say really anything. Not I want the coach to be fired. Not I want players to be traded. And certainly not myself to be traded. He's not going to tell anybody yet. What he needs to do, though, is insinuate it, for which it seems like he already has. So for me, it's like, yo, if the object of the game is to try to retain value, you don't let it get to a point where he has to say, get me the hell out of here. Because if you're waiting on him to cue it up, he either is and you're going to take half value, or he either is not and going to bounce and you're going to get no value. So that would defeat the purpose of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about initiating that trade within the organization without even having a discussion about him saying he wants to be it. Now, is it respectful of me to say, yo, Bron, you've been traded now, thanks for your time with our team? No. I don't think that's the way you handle it necessarily. But if you're asking him or waiting for him to initiate that trade, essentially you're asking him to make a trade demand, which in turn cuts his value in half. We don't want him at half value, because that defeats the damn purpose of trading him in the first place. You trade him at full value, meaning that you are shopping him without actually him telling you to do so. That's the only part of this that actually accomplishes what it is that I'm intending to accomplish when trading him in the first place. So that's what I want people to understand. You definitely don't wait for him to tell you to trade him. You definitely don't wait for him to say, I'm unhappy enough to want to be traded. Hell no. You trade him just like like a thief in the night, so that you can get the requisite amount of return that's supposed to be coming to you for trading LeBron James. He ain't worth the same amount if he has to tell you. If he has to tell the NBA, if the media finds out about it, he definitely ain't worth it. And I'll tell you right now, if LeBron James demands a trade, I'm liable to just let him walk. Why? Because that is the point. I'm not going to get the value for him any damn way. His rental's probably worth more to me than whatever crap return is going to come my way. The media talking about Jonathan Kuminga and Klay Thompson. What the hell? Get out of here with that garbage. I'm trying to reset my situation. I'm not trading away just any old guy. This guy's bringing a whole $1 billion+ for just a half year of his services. I'm not trading him for pennies on the dollar. It's worth more to me than not. You understand what I'm saying? It's worth more to me than not. So I hope for those who follow me, who take what I say for whatever it's worth, do understand that if you let this man tell the world that he wants to be traded, you've defeated the entire purpose of what it is I've been talking about. Just completely defeated that purpose. Because once the peanut gallery is a hold of him wanting to trade, boy, he ain't going to be worth nothing. You'll be lucky to get Julius Randle and Evan Fournier and a second-round pick for LeBron James when the media get a hold of that. So you don't let it happen. And a good GM knows that. A good GM ain't never going to let LeBron James demand no damn trade. Just like a good GM ain't never going to let Kevin Durant demand no damn trade. As soon as he starts seeing the situation get bad, and he realizes he can't bring Kevin Durant or LeBron James what is best to help him win, and he knows he's going to lose that player if he don't, he's going to trade him before it even get to that. Because it's the only way to retain value. It's literally the only way to get what it's worth. And the object of the game is to get what he's worth. I'm telling y'all, man, people better know what they're doing with what they have, man. They got to know what do you have? I have LeBron James at a half-season rental with no trade demand. That's worth about 3 picks and an all-star. Once LeBron James as a rental demands a trade, man, you worth pennies. Because ain't nobody going to even want to. They know you need to get rid of him. And they know what he's worth. And they know what you're about to lose. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't trade him. So it's like he's worth even a fourth of that. Not even half of that. He becomes worth a fourth of that. You'd be lucky to get Klay Thompson for him. You understand what I'm saying? And if he demands where he wants to go, oh shoot, you might as well, you're giving him away for free. It locks up the trade market because you're not gonna get back nothing you would even think is respectable. If he say, yo, I want to go to Miami, that just locks up. He might as well not even do that. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I'm trading him everywhere but Miami. Not because I'm trying to be spiteful, but because I can't get from Miami any damn thing in that situation. Nor can I get anything from anyone else in that situation. I'm going to take what they give me or end up having to watch them go away for nothing. And as we always say, you're only good as your last move. So if people know you traded LeBron James for nothing, what you think your next deal going to be in negotiations? What you think they're going to do? They're going to lowball you. Why? Because you made a terrible decision. So no, man, we don't play around with value. We don't play around with leverage. And as it pertains to trading away LeBron James, you do that like a thief in the night. You do that without anybody knowing so that you can get the value necessary for him. Instead of finding yourself in a situation where you ain't getting none of that. Absolutely none of it. And I'm telling you, man, there's only one reason to trade LeBron James. And that's to get the value for the man that ultimately he would be giving you in his stead. If he were to stay, rather. You would have what he's worth in your pocket so that when he bounces, you got everything he's worth to show for it. That is the only reason why you even do this. I'm not doing this for Klay Thompson and Jonathan Kuminga. That's not going to help me reset my situation. Unless I just believe Kuminga is going to be an all-world great pro. For which I ain't tripping. I mean, I don't think he's a bad pro, but he's not going to be worth what LeBron James worth. Hell no. You got to trade that dude like a thief in the night and get back everything he's worth, man. That's all you're doing. Get back every single bit of what he's worth. And in the event you do that, then you feel good about him walking and go play with his son. I'm going to go play with his son. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what I got to do. He going to do what he got to do. That's it. But as far as me letting him walk, the hell? Or as far as me letting him come to me saying I'm so unhappy that now I want to get the hell out of here? Like I can't read the room before he even comes around and says that? Of course I can read the room before he says that. I got Darvin Ham as his coach. You've been tired of Darvin Ham for 3 weeks. He's about to leave this place, so it ain't like he's sitting up here saying, man, it's going to be hard to leave LA. No, he's been thinking about leaving LA at this point for 7 years because he knew his son was coming into the league. He's looking forward to going to play with his son, which means he don't have no qualms about leaving you to do it. I don't know why people think this is a game or something. I think the odds of him opting in are very slim. See, that's the difference between myself and others. I don't think it's very likely he does turn to the Lakers and say, okay, let's opt in for $51 million. I don't think so. There's a billionaire we're talking about. He's not hurting for money. He stopped needing the NBA salary probably year 2, year 3 of his career. He don't need NBA salary. So it becomes a situation of leverage when he takes $51 million. I've listened to people say, yo, he's not worth $47 million. He is to the rest of the Players Association taking that amount. Because if he takes less, everybody got to take less. And he already told us how he felt about that years ago. So he's not going to take less. But because he's worth so much off the court to revenue, he don't have to. It's not incumbent upon him to do that. Because anybody and everybody is going to pay full price for LeBron James so long as nobody who has him allows him to tank his own value. As to which he ain't taking his value, he's taking his value to you. Because when he gets where he's going, he's going to be worth right what it was to you. So his value doesn't actually tank. It's just whether or not it's going to be worth that to you when you allow him to make a trade demand. For which I, BDF44, would never do. But then there were certain things that I also would have never did that the Lakers did that had made it so that my franchise is more valuable in general. I would have never let Julius Randle walk. I'd have traded him for picks. At least damn cash considerations. If he gonna walk to New Orleans, at least bring back some second rounders. You ain't doing him no favors. He gonna go there anyway. That was a mistake in the market there. And I know it was like a wink, wink, hush, hush. We'll trade you Anthony Davis if you do this type of deal. But nah, I got to show some worth in my value. I can't do that. They ended up getting all types of regular value for Anthony Davis anyway. So it wasn't like it represented what it is we were supposed to show for doing a wink, wink deal with him. It didn't work out that way. So why am I doing wink, wink deals with the New Orleans Pelicans only to turn around and have to give up full value for Anthony Davis? People don't get it. They got a 1-year rental of Julius Randle on top of the return for Anthony Davis a year before. People don't get that. Like, fam, whatever you see there in that trade, you just add Julius Randle what he was worth at that time. Because that's exactly what we traded him for. Because we didn't get a damn thing for Julius. I ain't forgot that. That was my 7th overall pick. Nothing to show for it. And then I want to turn around and take Lonzo Ball at a heightened up value when he's probably the 5th overall pick in that draft that year. I take him at 2. They want to turn around and trade away picks and players for Russell Westbrook at $47 million. I mean, just as we talked about this morning, a bunch of bull crap that does nothing for my value. Nothing for my war chest when it's time to rebuild. Nothing for my war chest when I'm trying to retool. I've been talking about this stuff for years. And so for me, it's like, yo, I ain't very pleased with my team. Because I watched them moonwalk into this bad position. And I'm watching them in this position, not identify they're in this position. So as far as I can tell, they acting like it's not happening. Delusional about this situation. Like, well, I mean, we could just trade D'Lo for DeJounte Murray. And then, I mean, of course, LeBron will just opt in. No, he ain't going to opt in, fool. He's talking about his kid. You think he's going to play with DeJounte Murray over his kid? If that's what y'all telling yourselves? You think he ain't already had conversations with Anthony Davis about how this is going to plan out when Anthony first got here? They already knew where this was going. Anthony already knew this was coming. I don't anticipate Anthony Davis being mad at LeBron James for leaving the Lakers because I anticipated Anthony Davis having a conversation with LeBron playing with Bronny back before they even came together. But I do anticipate Anthony Davis looking at the Lakers messing up the process for which retaining his value is supposed to be going down. Because as I said, a lot of this has to be unspoken so that the value can be captured. That's what people need to understand. A lot of things have to be unspoken so the value can be captured. So if Anthony Davis come out and say, yo, I know Bron's going to play with Bronny, or Bron says, yo, I want out of here because I'm going to play with Bron, all of that just tanks the value. So it's best people don't speak. And it's best people understand that as they're behind the scenes making deals so that they can retain value for what it is they have. Leverage is important to capture, fam. That's the point. It's important to capture leverage. If I got a player who I know is worth $1 million more for being quiet, I'm not going to let him speak. I'm not going to let it get to a point where he feels he has to speak. And that's essentially what this is all about. So don't expect for Anthony Davis to act anything other than shocked. Don't expect for, you know what I'm saying? It don't benefit him to act like he knew anything, but don't also expect that he doesn't know. None of that. Just do what you got to do with what you have is what I would tell any GM in this situation. Don't worry about how people feel about it. Nothing. None of that matters. The only thing that you need to be worrying about is the capturing of the value of the player that you had. That's it. Because if he walks, it ain't hurting him. It ain't hurting the team he's going to. In fact, it probably benefits the team he goes to that you are no longer as good. So you're one less team he got to worry about. Lakers. You think he wants the Lakers to be the greatest contender upon his leaving? Why the hell would he want that? He's trying to win a championship. You're just an op at that point. So people got to understand these things and not wait for certain things to go wrong in order to initiate what should be done right. Nobody's going to come here and tell Jeanie Buss to trade LeBron James. Least of all LeBron James and his representation. The only person going to tell you that is me. I'm the only person going to tell you that. Why? Because I don't have any skin in the game. And that's exactly what they need, is for people like me to say, yo, I understand the market. I understand what's going on. Nobody's confused. People need to understand that without people saying they're not confused and make moves. I'm telling you, man, you give me control over a basketball team and get me capologists that are smarter than me, that understand these numbers better than me, and our team's going to be good, bro. Our team's going to be good. Because I'm not going to be passing up on certain value. I'm going to have contingency plans for damn near everything that goes wrong. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me about, oh, I want out of my franchise, because I'm not gonna allow it to happen. You ain't gonna want to leave. Why? Because we're gonna be capturing value left and right. We're gonna be getting worth for everything. And anytime it look like you upset, I'm gonna send you out before you tell me you need to be sent out. Because I already know my timeline is what I'm following. If I'm a win now team and I can't get right, this guy's gone. I'm not signing no Zach LaVine to no $40 million contract. It's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting that. I'm not signing Lonzo Ball with bad knees to no $100 million contract. He's not gonna get it. And we're never gonna suck because of it. So it's like, these are certain things like, yo, I would have never made none of these decisions, man. Jalen Hood-Schifino would have been on the board, man. After my pick, he'd have still been sitting there. Ain't taking him when Cam Whitmore is right there. Are you kidding me? 99% of the consensus have him going before 17, and he falls to me and I'm not taking him? What, do I look stupid? No, I'm not doing that. Hell no. Well, the plan, we didn't get a chance to take a look at him. So the plan, you ain't got to take a look at him. Take a look at the draft boards. He's supposed to be off the board after Detroit. He's on the board at the Lakers, 11 picks down the road. You didn't take him? No, because we heard somebody had a foot problem. He had a foot problem. Did he look like he had a foot problem when you last seen him? Well, we didn't get a chance to take a look at him. And these are the type of things that make people take Jalen Hood-Schifino. 2 weeks later, Cam Whitmore getting 7 steals in one summer league game. It's like, what happened to that foot problem? I don't know. And Tillman Fertitta sitting up there smiling and laughing because he know he done duped the whole damn league. Getting that dude at 20. When the Lakers know goddamn well they don't have another pick for another 3 years and about to mortgage that. Stupid stuff, man. I never let none of this happen. You kidding me? Give me control over that Vegas team, Brian. When you buy that, let me be your de facto GM. Let me do that. And I guarantee you we'll be good, bro. Because a lot of these mistakes that people make in the market, I'd never make any of these problems. I'd never make any of these mistakes. You kidding me? And if you go through all of my videos over the course of the last 7 years, you would see I wouldn't have made those mistakes. I was telling you beforehand these were mistakes that were about to be made, and they were made. Some stuff is like, yo, man, no. You can't wait for people to make trade demands. It's never going to happen. No, I don't smoke. It's one of those situations, you're never going to let that happen. That situation in Brooklyn, I'd have never let that happen. As soon as they start talking about we're going to trade away Kevin Durant, I'd have been like, only for picks. Only for picks. We're a win-now team. No, you're not. You're losing Kevin Durant. You're not a win-now team. What you are is a team in need of a rebuild, and you can't be in denial about that, or you're going to lose value in what it is that you're sending out. Kyrie Irving, only for picks. Only for picks. James Harden, if it comes down to either me letting James Harden walk or me bringing back a stalemate contract of Ben Simmons, let him walk. He's worth more to me as a rental. Unhappy rental with that than Ben Simmons, who's going to hold me capture with the baggage that come with his name and his injuries. You see how that works? Now you sign on for another bad contract that keeps you stale, as opposed to something that's going to give you more. I don't think people understand that. That's why a rental, for me, a LeBron James rental, I'm not going to trade LeBron James for, what's that guy name? Evan Fournier. It's never going to happen. I'm not trading LeBron James for Evan Fournier, because now Evan Fournier is going to have me locked down on a contract I don't want. That is going somewhere else. Now, they can trade it in this trade, but we're going to find another landing spot for it. It ain't going to be here. Because I'm trying to keep myself, I'm trying to enjoy my value. I'm not trying to have it as something that's going to be losing value by the second. And Evan Fournier's contract, in theory, is something that I'm not going to want to use at that value, and no one else is going to want either. So why am I bringing that in just to make the salary match? That's never going to happen. See what I'm saying? These are the type of things. It's like, yo, if we're paying attention to what we're supposed to be paying attention to and being responsible for what it is that we have, these things never happen. If we value the players that we have on contract properly, we're never going to trade them for stuff that can't be retraded. We're never going to put them in positions to be seen as lesser contracts that no one wants. If this guy is on a contract, if Zach LaVine's on a contract that I don't want, then I'm going to be putting everything on my team in a position to revolve around him. Now, the problem with Zach LaVine specifically is his availability, and I understand that. But I'd have been moved Vucevic, I'd have been moved DeMar DeRozan for pieces that fit Zach LaVine, or Zach LaVine's going to be the only bad contract I got, and he's stuck on a team that's rebuilding around him. That's the only way you do that. I ain't winning now for Zach LaVine. No disrespect to Zach, but if I got Lonzo Ball and I got Zach LaVine, 2 immovable contracts, those are the only 2 bad contracts I got. You see what I'm saying? Ain't going to be no Vucevic, ain't going to be no DeMar DeRozan, none of that. Kobe White would have had the keys to the car 2 years ago, and we would have traded them dudes for picks. I would have never traded Franz Wagner to the Orlando Magic for Vucevic, and there was something else attached to that, Wendell Carter. Like, I never did no stupid crap like that. It would never happen. Vucevic is injury prone to begin with, and he wasn't going to move the needle for me. Why the hell am I moving him? Moving these 2 fantastic young pieces, especially Franz Wagner on draft night, to the Orlando Magic. Like, these are things I'm never going to do. Like, there's certain things that you just never do, fam. If you know what the hell you're doing, you're never doing it. Never. Ain't taking on Chris Paul at full price. I'm not doing that if I'm the Washington Wizards. They got lucky and they were able to get Jordan Poole out of it. Okay. That doesn't mean I'm doing it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get Jordan Poole 9 out of 10 times. I'm not. I need to find somebody even dumber than me, Mike Dunleavy Jr. in Golden State, who would be willing to take that contract too. Otherwise, I'm going to be the one stretching it. Because ain't nobody going to take it from me. Unless I can trade it for what? Zach LaVine? Maybe. Probably not. I'd rather have the LaVine contract. Ben Simmons? Like, you don't inherit problems on purpose, man. And if you don't identify problems as problems, then of course you're going to be in trouble. And this is why I'm trying to tell everybody in Lakerland not to let LeBron James walk, because that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And when you look up and your team's not very good, and you're wondering why you got this scrub on the team and that scrub on the team, and you can't make a trade for this guy, and why that dude chose somewhere else, it's because of these type of decisions. And people don't capture value in the little areas or even in the big ones sometimes. And then they find themselves in situations where they don't have the requisite amount of ammo to make moves. I ain't never going to let that happen. Never. So these are the type of things that's like, yo, like I said, if they do put a team in Vegas, I'm right here for consulting. I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? If you do, seriously, because there's a lot of people who are getting paid the big bucks and they don't understand this stuff, and it shows in the moves they make, or they don't know how to walk up to owners and say, look, this is what I understand. If you do this, this is why you're gonna hate your life. You're not gonna be happy with the team. And maybe some owners are stubborn. Cool. Then that's how you find yourself in the situations. Not your fault. But otherwise, it's your job to be able to identify this and make it simple for the owners to understand that, yo, this is what's going to happen with your product if you do this. Don't let it happen. I'm telling Genie right now, this is what happens to your product. Don't let it happen. You trade LeBron James, and you definitely don't wait for him to tell you to do it. It's not in his best interest or anybody else around him best interest to tell you that, but they do expect for you to understand it. They do. So I hope people listen. I hope Laker Nation follows me, man. I hope everybody in the front office follows me. I felt like y'all did several years ago when we started changing our direction in regards to young players. We started bringing more young pieces to us, valuing things. You know, I think the Austin Reeves contract was a step in the right direction as it pertains to really capturing value. The move I want the Lakers to make, truthfully, is one of two things. First, you got to sit down with LeBron James and get a gauge for where he's at. And ask yourself a very simple question. Do you have a path to getting Bronny James on your team this year if he enters the draft? If the answer is no, then you have to make a tough decision to move him before the trade deadline. At rental price. Because that's what he is. He's a rental for any team that acquires him. It's not ideal, but it's the right way to go. Then you take what you get back and you go to Anthony Davis and say, this is what we got back. If you want to be here, we'd love for you to be here. If you want to be traded, we can trade you too, and we'll continue our rebuild. Or if you want to be here, we'll take this and we'll trade it for your next running mate. Who you want to play with, we'll see if we can get him. That's what you do. It's exactly what you do. Otherwise, you're letting value walk out the door, and then you're going to be sitting back wishing you listened to what it is I just said right now. There's no path to where you're fine with that. There's no path. Because what people have to understand is, well, LeBron James leaves, and I have cap space to sign somebody else. Yeah, but that somebody else would have also had the requisite amount of ammo that came with LeBron James being captured in picks. On top of the fact that they had Anthony Davis to run with. You're still letting the value walk. Cap space in this situation is not a return for LeBron James. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It's along the same lines of why you don't trade for Anthony Davis, but instead let him come to you in free agency the following year. Because you still got Brandon Ingram, you still got Lonzo Ball, you still got the pick that you traded away. And you can then move that stuff at that time for even more. See what I'm saying? Instead of giving that stuff to New Orleans for Anthony Davis rental when you know damn well he's going to resign. Now, we won a championship out of that. So all is well. And we ain't won 1 cent. So I could argue the right decision was the way we went. But 9 out of 10 times, it's not. 9 out of 10 times, you want more, not less or a replacement in terms of equity when you can get that player outright. Absolutely not. Along the same lines, just inverted. It's inverted thought. So I'm trying to explain the science that I understand, man. It's more to it than that. There are a lot of provisions and a lot of different things that go along with, the collective bargaining agreement, stuff like that. I do not understand. That's why I get capologists and people who have that, get them type of scientists around me. So they can tell me, hey, this isn't possible. This is possible. This is what we can do. This is what we can't do. Cool. But as it pertains to the basics of capturing value and not letting crap leave, and just being cool with that and just thinking it's going to be fine. Ain't nothing fine about that. Nothing at all. And that needs to be understood by everybody who follows me. There's nothing fine about letting LeBron James's value walk out the door. Nothing. Not as it pertains to trying to make sure that your team is any good going forward. You're going to be half a team while other teams you're going against are not half a team at all. And that's what you need to understand. All of us need to understand. You go up against Utah and wonder why they're so damn deep. You go up against the New York Knicks and wonder why they have so many picks to go get whatever they want. This is why. Because they don't let half of their value go out the door. They still have it when you go up against them, one way or another. Whether it be in players or draft equity. They got it. You won't. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Trade LeBron James if you're really serious. Or, as I said, try to capture a pick that you believe you can get Bronny James with. That is your path to keeping LeBron James. Not him telling you I'm going to opt in, because that cannot be trusted. You know why they can't be trusted? Because if his son gets drafted by the Cavaliers, he probably going to go there. If his son gets drafted by the Miami Heat, he probably going to go there. If his son gets drafted by the Denver Nuggets, he probably going to go there. Because they got a better chance of winning the championship than us. You understand what I'm saying? So his word telling me I must opt in could mean a lot. But he already gave me his word. And his word was, I want to go play with my son. I heard him. You understand what I'm saying? That part of his word, I believe. I believed him when he said that. So for me, it's like, nah, time is running out, fam. While people are talking about, oh, let's make a trade to get better. Are we really getting better if he walks? Let's just simply fire the coach and we'll be fine. What the hell do they have to do with him playing with his son? You understand what I'm saying? You got to focus on the bigger problem. And the bigger problem is LeBron James is worth half of your whole entire war chest. Letting him walk is Arma freaking getting, man. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.